Hey everyone, Lazy Ben. Welcome to another Game Dev Roundup video, where I'll catch you up on all the progress I made this week for my new Sci-Fi gardening game. It's Monday morning. This week I want to work on the crafting system. There's currently no crafting at all in the game right now, so it'll be a brand new system, which is exciting. And I think today I'll just get straight into the code and try and figure out the basics. As always, I stream everything over on my Twitch channel at LazyBen Games, and I'll post all the streams on my second YouTube channel at LazyBen Live. Links in the description. So I've been coding for a couple of hours now, and I think I've finally landed on a system that I quite like. Basically, crafting is going to be broken up into two separate things: crafting benches, and they're basically the stations that you go to do crafting. I've created one here, crafting bench, and crafting recipes. The most important thing about them is the ingredient items. They're the items that are required to do the craft, and the output items, which are the items that are produced in the craft. In this case, if you want to craft an apple seed, you need 2 apple spark. So I'm going to code now for a couple more hours, and I'll see how far I get with this crafting system. So it's a couple of hours later now, and I've finally got a crafting bench in the world, and I just wanted to show you how I do that. If you go over to the game's editor, you can see that this is the room that we were just in. And basically these little blue squares here, and the one with the scissors icon means it's a crafting bench. And the way I tell the game that it's a crafting bench is I get the blue square to broadcast an event called broadcast crafting bench. So if we go back into the game and I click on the crafting bench here, you can see we get this cool UI. And these are the 2 blueprints that I defined earlier in the code. And if you click on the blueprint, you can see the recipe. And as long as you have these items in your inventory, they'll go green, and then you click the craft button and you get the 2 apple seeds. That's good progress today, I think. It's the end of the day now. So I think I'm going to go home, spend some time with my family, get a good night's sleep, and then try again tomorrow. We'll improve the crafting system because I think it's just clicking a button's a little bit boring, so I'll see what plans I come up with and try and do something about that tomorrow. It's Tuesday morning. I've just done the school run and I'm back at the computer, ready to make the crafting system a little bit more interesting. Yesterday I wasn't really happy with how you can craft an item just by pressing a button. I think that could be quite boring, so I've been racking my brain and I've come up with a couple of ideas. My favourite being having some kind of crafting queue where you can queue up recipes and craft them quickly, one after the other, to craft a lot of items at once. And I like this because the player can upgrade the amount of slots they have in the queue as they progress through the game. And that means the player will be able to craft more and more items at once as they upgrade, which will be, a little bit more fun than just pressing a button, I think. So I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and going to turn the stream on and start implementing that. It's 5 hours later and I've just finished a stream. It was a really good stream this time, had a lot of chatters. And we made really good progress on the crafting system. So if you walk over to the crafting bench now, you'll see that there's the crafting queue pop up, and these are the slots that the player is going to be able to upgrade as they play the game. They're going to be able to get more and more of these slots. And you can't craft yet, but if you open the system, you can add these recipes to the queue now instead of craft them here. And it's currently not working, but the idea is that you would hold down the craft button and the hero character does some crafting animation, and one by one everything in the queue will get crafted. So I think tomorrow that's going to be the plan. I'm going to get all these crafting one after the other. Fast forward 24 hours, it's now the end of Wednesday, and I think the crafting system's finished. If I demo that now, you can see that we have the crafting queue as before, but if we open the crafting bench, we can now place multiple apple seed recipes into the queue. If you hold down the craft button, the player plays the crafting animation and the recipes charge up, and when they're complete you release the crafting button and you get all your apple seeds into your inventory. So I'm going to consider the crafting system finished for now. It is only a prototype, so I'll probably revisit it later to try and improve it a little bit more, but I want to move on to something a little bit different. Get away from making all these menus. So next week I'm going to move on to some rigid body physics. I think I want rocks to be able to break apart and things like that, but I'll include that in next week's video. That's everything for this week's devlog. It was a really good week. We completed a full system in just 3 days, even if it is only a prototype. Next week we're moving on to physics. If you want to follow the progress of me making my game, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'm going to try and get a video out every week if I can, definitely when I've got something to show. So that's all for now. Thank you very much and see you next time.